When you raise your voices to me, I understand that something needs done, and understand that something requires attention. What's going on, Coverkillernation? It's time for another Coverkillernation band review. This is one that was requested by all of you, that I take care of, that I handle, that I dissect. For this, we had done a day to remember, and that didn't exactly go very well, mainly because it's a day to remember. This doesn't prove to be going any further, or any better, or anything like that, considering we're talking about a band that, in most of the metal community, is seen as a complete and total joke, a waste. And that is the band out of the UK, Bring Me the Horizon. Now, through 3 albums and an EP, this is a band that claims that they have made leaps and bounds of change to their sound and things like this, experimented, blah, 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 blah. I have not seen it. I have not heard it. This has been a band that has had its fan base grow, and there's a bunch of pretentious fans, but not all of them. See, here's the thing. I'm going to make this point prior to, I guess, giving my spiel. For the first time, this is a band in which the fans do not give me a problem. This is the first time where the fans that Bring Me the Horizon are actually pretty cool people. In fact, in most cases, whenever I've talked to fans and I've expressed my opinions of dislike towards this band, they have been relatively cool about it. Sure, they might offer me an, oh, well, that sucks, or, you know, why not, or something like that, but they have not been complete douchebags about it, such as a maggot or a juggalo or an A Day to Remember fan or a conventional Slayer fan, so to speak. But what makes Bring Me the Horizon sort of such a horrendous stain on the fabric of metal music? Is it just the fact that it's another deathcore band that's been sort of raised on metalcore, evolved into deathcore, and are trying to, do their hand in it? No, it actually has nothing to do with that. I think that I've exposed throughout the past couple of months by reviewing some more deathcore and things like that, that not every band that falls under the deathcore umbrella is going to be something that I'm going to hate. In fact, if you watch my Job for a Cowboy video that was just posted roughly about a month ago, you'll understand that there are actually deathcore bands out there that I will give not only a fighting chance, but I will score very highly. So this has absolutely nothing to do with the genre itself. This has more to do with specific bands that happen to fall under the genre umbrella. It's something that just seems to me like at this current juncture of time in music that this is the one genre that is really incorporating the most bane, the most bands that just have annoying written all over them, that have problems written all over them. Here's my biggest complaint about this band. And this is something that is not only aimed towards longtime fans that perhaps are my age, but mainly geared towards the youth. Mainly geared towards the youth, and that's the fact that you guys are worshiping mediocrity. I don't understand why mediocrity seems to be so amazing in your eyes and your ears. I don't understand why that seems to really sell for you, why that's a great point. I understand that things have to have a certain catchiness to them. They have to have a certain relatability to you and things like that, but this has neither. This isn't catchy stuff. This has very little to any relatability. This is just dilapidated trash. This is mediocrity at its finest. There are plenty of other groups out there. There are plenty of other bands out there. There are plenty of other genres out there that take mediocrity very seriously and aim not to achieve it. And they don't. They're in fact able to do so very well. Now, am I aiming mediocrity, the mediocrity tag, at a simplistic style of music? Am I doing that? No, no, no. It's just the way in which it's represented. It's the way in which it is done. Sure, there's a lot of energy behind it, and that can easily be a curbside appeal, so to speak, but overall, just the package is very mediocre. There are various other groups out there, and in fact, I will throw out the name Job for a Cowboy once again, that essentially are under the same umbrella as a band such as Bring Me the Horizon, and blow people's minds. There are plenty of bands under the metal umbrella, the overall metal umbrella, that are able to blow people's minds and perhaps still have a very polar feel within the crop of fans, or in the crop of the collective metal universe. This is a band, though, where it just seems like mediocrity is A-okay. And I've been noticing this more and more with this This new wave of bands. I've also been noticing something else with this new wave of bands where there's just a lot of guest work. There's a lot of people that are coming in and they have to list them and everything like that. And it's starting to look like some sort of goddamned rap album or something like that, where every single song has to have another featured artist. How difficult really is it to do deathcore? Now, am I saying that so you could say, why don't you try it? Well, maybe. But I'll tell you what my response to that is. No, I'm not going to try it because I don't want to be mediocre. Not to mention, I'm not going to try it because I don't have to sound like a pig whenever I sing to get my point across. I'm able to do that without doing any sort of fancy parlor trick. Now, does it sound like I just bashed half of metal by saying that? Maybe, if you're simple-minded. But you'll understand that in order to be a fan of metal, you have to have a universal mind. And my universal mind has limitations. My universal mind may be consistently expanding, however there are certain things that are being sucked up into the mental black holes that formulate whenever something so fucking insane and stupid occurs that it just makes me think to myself, maybe this is the aneurysm everyone keeps warning me about. Maybe this is the aneurysm that's going to kill me, that's going to extinguish me from this planet. Maybe this is it. Well, I'm not going to let this band be it. I'm not going to let this band be anything to me, because, to be perfectly honest with you, I've listened to the material, and I was underwhelmed. Let me repeat that for all of you, just in case you guys missed it because you went to take a piss, or you went to jack off to an Asking Alexandria song, or if you're just sticking, I don't know, a tube sock up your ass. I listened to the material, and I was underwhelmed. Not impressed whatsoever. Don't care. Don't see the hype. Don't see the reason why this band is liked. I could even rhyme. I could be a rapper. I could be a metal star. I could be anything. But that's not the point. What causes this? What is the reason behind this? Is it because the guitar work is fairly humdrum? Is it because the overall sound and scope of it just incorporates breakdowns mixed with interwoven melody? Is it because it's just a carbon-dated copy of something that we've heard before? Is it an amalgamation of all of these things? Well, it's just the overall sum of the parts. The sum of the parts just tells me that this is a band that does what they enjoy, so I give them credit for it. And they have fans for doing what they enjoy, so once again I give them credit for it. However, I find what they do incredibly mediocre, boring, bland, and stupid. And that's my opinion. Just like you have your opinion of liking it. You might want to think about that before you start typing on your little computers. However, mediocrity selling is the real problem here. Mediocrity selling is the real reason why I go on these rants. Why I talk about bands that just bring me the horizon. Why I talk about bands like A Day to Remember. Like Limp Bizkit or Linkin Park or this or that or these or those. Even bands that are from my classic heyday whenever I was younger myself. These are all bands that share something in common. Yes, they have been able to find some sort of commercialized appeal in what they do with their craft. However, whenever you listen to it, the overall body of it is something that is extremely underwhelming. Something that's very mediocre. Something that actually doesn't bring that much to the table that's new or diverse to begin with. The innovators don't seem to be the ones that truly get the attention and the respect that they deserve. Instead, it all goes to the ones that are able to do what the innovators have done, only simpler and dumbed down. That way, stupid Americans are able to understand it. That way, stupid Americans are able to relate to it. And that way, stupid American youths can listen to lyrics. And all of a sudden, it just seems like they're speaking to them individually, cradling them in their arms, and making sure that nothing bad will happen to them. Because these lyrics are exactly what they're feeling. It's a carbon copy of what they're feeling. Now they can go on Facebook and quote the lyrics to everybody. Everybody can be exposed to these lyrics, and no one's gonna give a shit. No one's gonna respond. Maybe a couple people like it. Maybe somebody recognizes who it is, but aside from that, it's meaningless. Dribble and nonsense. This is another band that is just like that. This is another band that I see the youth wearing the shirts, and I see the youth spitting the verses, and it means nothing. It's meaningless. It's dribble. It's a call for attention. It's being young, and I understand that. Do I come off as a bitter man in his late 20s? Probably. Will I be getting 1,001 comments about how I need everything from Rogaine to Viagra? Probably. Am I going to respond to any of them? Probably not, because none of you are worth my time. The point of it is, stop promoting mediocrity. It's okay if this is something that helps you start off your musical journey, but bands like this are not what you should build an entire musical knowledge of the world around. These are good stepping stones, but now it's time for you to put on your big boy shorts, your big boy pants, or your big girl panties, and jump into the Shark's Tank and get with some bands that actually know what the fuck's going on. The ones that maybe don't have that same commercial acclaim. The ones where if you wear the t-shirts in school, or if you wear the t-shirts to the mall, people might look at you funny and say, who the fuck is that? Well, you know what? That's part of the fun. That's part of the acclaim. Stop worshiping mediocrity. I understand that most of this had zip to do with the music, and that's just the way I like it. Because quite honestly, this review is reminiscent to their music. It's all just what one person's saying, or what a couple people are doing. It's an opinion, it's a feeling, it's a notion. Remember that. Remember it well. I know none of you will heed the warning, and I look forward to the hate that's about to come from the posting of this video.